Kojo Ashakan has spoken. Kojo Ashakan. I know say omo from Gen Z's no. Ya bought Kojo Ashakan omo hu no. In fact, they don't even know him. But na omatie radio. Ama omate say ebonyum bi. Apempe amampe ya. Sidia no je. Maya omo fe so sidia no je. Opatre say man de omo mpe hia o. Wan yire ho anya djuma ampe sika kakra. Na edru weekend na oba ho ncha betima na didi amia. Or the back of movie. Obi ebewe no fala because CD and idea. Kojo Ashakan the high life reggae artist waka kan nyina bom na waka sembi. Semono ye that Lumba hardcore fans and die hard fans no. Asem ne nye de sa. Asem ne nye de. Trimu na e na ama den komodie abai. Yakọ Ghana web CC ya. Daddy Lumba is the greatest of his generation, not the greatest of all time. Na mo mama fo hu Kojo Ashakan, mo mama fo hu ne papa no say no tie, papa no kasa no nanim ti say. Me ka Kojo Ashakan na ka mo di picture to na man fo hu ne say no tie. Aha, we much cry dada.
Picture no mo de ye dey.
Mo de ye dey. Mo mama fans na me yo. Kojo Ashakan. Rastaman Kojo Ashakan that one. Ono no say Daddy Lumba is the greatest of his generation, not the greatest of all time. Nah, I'm breaking it down now. The upper chair they say, and they can't Ghana the GOAT in music. Daddy Lumba generation time na obo hit have been wahan nasi for no. I say sad time pe and Daddy Lumba no ye great. But say you can see the whole Ghana music from a chichiri eba benches actually no. Aha, from 19 Kojo Besine. You can see the greatest of all time and ye Lumba. Well, you show me so bobidia. Ebia and ye Lumba e hwan. You can read this story or suggest you be. I see in the wake of the passing of high life legend Daddy Lumba, a debate has emerged within Ghana's music community over whether he should be crowned the nation's greatest musician ever. Some entertainment commentators have even placed the late icon above global pop superstar Michael Jackson. However, legendary high life musician Kojo Ashakan, popularly known as Starman, has offered a different perspective. During an exclusive interview on Hot 93.9 FM Ayehu show with host Chairman KK, Ashakan respectfully challenged the notion that Daddy Lumba is the greatest musician of all time. Now, Tia Nekasa Neba Bekan. As Daddy Lumba was a great musician, and his death is a big blow to the Ghanaian music industry. Yeah, no, but he is not the greatest Ghanaian musician of all time. In music, there is always someone who becomes the greatest of that generation. So the fact is, he's the greatest of his generation. Daddy Lumba, born Charles Kojo Fosu, passed away on July 26 at the age of 60 after a brief illness. His death has prompted widespread mourning and reflection on his immense contribution to high life and Ghanaian culture. Now, it goes on to say that Ashakan himself, a celebrated artist known for hits like CD Nigeria and his recent single Weather, acknowledged Lumba's monumental impact while advocating for a generational view of musical greatness rather than an absolute one. His comments have added a thoughtful voice to the ongoing conversation, reminding fans and critics alike to appreciate artistic legacies within their historical context. Well, it's really story now we no. Ono Senior Lumba and the greatest of all time. Ono so when to me answer say okay, say Lumba ni hwa. Why the greatest of all time? Because on to me ka say Ghana has ye ni anase Ghana hu hia say be nya obi a or greatest of all time. Intene o say nye Lumba aye hwan wa mo nipa ko ne din. a horna ama debate no it has not ended. Kwebi anko my edina ka debate no would have been ended by now, but mama dino inti aman komone koso that time nim say opese yen hwe video bi a as a video so ni ona yen ko anima na waka but I say video ho okay and mama yen ko hwe Kojo Ashakan ebra na onoa eto na numtu o ka se ebetimi a Ghana ha mo bia en ka se Lumba is the goat, Lumba is the goat or si dabi his generation pay. Who is the goat? Let's go watch this video. When I come back, a bedding come on. Stay tuned.
It's a scam. The Grammy Awards are more than American. It's a complete scam. We shouldn't worry about it.
All right, back to Daddy Lumba. What free more? Ni 1 week. Who be ni wono the effect be eba Ghana music industry.
Yes, we are all somebody. We have lost a big icon in the music industry. But I say we tap on his legacy, and then we do even much better to honor him. It's a blow and as a Ghanaian music as a whole. And let's not forget also that K.O.A.T also contributed very well. And you know, all those we have lost, they did contributed their part. And you know me, musicians, you said now legacy with more determination to make Ghana music excel.
In your view, would you say, sir, Charles Kojo Ashakan Lumba is the greatest Ghanaian musician ever?
Oh, greatest is a very hard word we used to. I said that music, you know, in every generation, somebody becomes the greatest. To say the greatest all time is a very difficult thing. But Lumba, his generation, you know, you can say his generation, and yes, he was the greatest his generation, such as it. And there is no doubt about that, such as it. But there were others who were great in their generations too, because every generation, you know, is a different thing. You know, we salute him for his hard work. Well, he was the best on his generation. Then about that.
Kojo, some of us are your fan, you follow music. No, we are always out there watching out for your new project. And to say, what is your latest project?
Latest project,
well, Kojo Ashakan, any Hot FM presenter, KK chairman, and na omo didin komono na yen die hard fans of Daddy Lumba Day. We not happy too much because as a title like day 2 year home, Daddy Lumba nyom peno started Daddy Lumba greatest musician ever. I said David. I said that be my farmer Lumba. Yen farmer why and no one can. I heard ya swimming pass. It's a Dutch idea. Okay, nti se nye Lumba why ni farmer no na yenti do beka. So onye obi aso am farmer ne dia na ne. I'll show you the Afana Cochessa bracket. I can say Kojo Ashakan hater. Okay, the Afana Cochessa because your president back Cochessa. What row? Yenin komowi na yemiye. Only Kojo Ashakan ya dream. Ama say only na dream.
Well, me ya dream. Me tenase. It will be a free banner.
Okay.
You see, we've had this discussion before on this platform, and Makase, for me, I am not against anybody that would want to say said Daddy Lumba is the greatest musician of all time in Ghana. But then, say one farmer and so who bought omo mabom who modding wo chroma so untimi yini di free. Looking at the impact. They be a case say a do about somebody say because of how subjective it is nintino. Na you should be very slow in saying say we eye and I say we enye. And especially say koye odipatitiri wa obie nim say okay ne modern money there it goes beyond average. If that is the situation, then I will agree with Kojo Ashakan because this is somebody that has followed Daddy Lumba's generation. In fact, he was even in that generation. You understand? And for him to even make a statement like that, you see, the beautiful thing is that he did not, whatever he said, did not take anything away from that Lumba status. It did not take anything away from that Lumba status. And when you even want to analyze what he said, is it true or false? It is true. Every generation be the greatest of that generation. Okay. Every generation offer hip life timer. Ye wo omo a ye ka hip life a ube yi omo esisro ni omo mbe wase eye de ya wunye omo pepepe da ebia se ye kasi ye biem na afi de ye bepe onyumtuni like greatest musician of all time because the factors are many and then ebe man common awa that mostly we want to situate it to whoever is speaking, the level of impact and nipa ninya won so also coupled with nipa achievement and na bra nipa ne be boy intino obi betimi aka say okay me there daddy Lumba ye be greatest of all time you will be so on man so be catch us say hey Osibisa band no
thank you
is the greatest of all time in terms of musicianship in Ghana if you want to look at impact and that yes and that person will also have enough to hold or to make that argument. The person will have enough to make that argument in terms of impact and everything. They will have enough. And Obia one but then in American, sometimes the factors, the immediate factors will be nipa kwa or kasa, and ye first. Nipa na ye kan ho asem, and ye second. Any brana nipa na ye kan ho asem abemo. And no nebeye. And you see where Kojo Ashakan was coming. He did not take time in saying some of these things. Like, one man or account. Because near all can obey him say, eye nyono afem ni nyono ehu. Ene nipa ne bra wa bono Kojo Ashakan deka. So you cannot challenge him. Even if you want to challenge him, you will just be repeating yourself while the cow kwaba. But at the end of the day, near all can obesa jiato. Eno mpanche say we bibi every daddy Lumba so. In fact, say dia waka nimpo no eya abasobode sama daddy Lumba. Say aside the fact say yitimidi no compare greatest musicians say what Ghana he nyina no. Uyi ono ni generation po ni omu si so a ana ni PS a ni omu si so a osa ehwe omu nyina. Eno krapo ya abasobode kese enye musician bia ne benyampo to be the greatest musician of your generation. If we are talking about rappers, Sarkodie in terms of his generation, after hip life, has been the greatest of that generation. You can't take it away from him. When you want to go into the hip life era, that is when you also go and do that conversation between Obrafo and Red Rock Stone and in Lord Kenya. You understand? Intino levels biya wo enkoma odibedi. Inti na me kase inti so bi etna hokase o me die daddy Lumba eye me greatest of all time. Mini nipa ni echi ni. Why? Because Lumba bobra o deserve. Untimi nkan greatest of all times. Miensa ni dimmem. Eye die ya ni dimbe pie baby. Senye baako a ebeye mi no anyi mi no ebeye miensa. And baby odi ni be hye ubenya enkrofo dodo na amanfo dodo they would want to, like they would be able to support what you are saying. Enye ntwa ho enye kasa tenten and enye plenty explanation. This is just very simple, and that is what the man is saying. So I understand where he's coming from. He's giving that respect to that Lumba, and he has shared the respect equally among his peers. But then he's been able to still uplift that Lumba to make him the greatest musician of his generation. No, so of all time there. Then you should rather come and explain with other factors. Nyentia or you greatest of all time. Oebia, to me, no, you greatest of all time because of awards where you win here, and now because of a nyum do say your tone here, and now say nyum do say you release here, and now say nyum do say your the year hit. And now bra or boy, yeah, even in its entirety as a musician. And no, say, oh yes, arguments. Now nobody will challenge you. But se nipa no bra, no making impact. None impact, no. at least you can have even 1/3 of the population, 1/3 of the entire population agreeing with you. So assume a CD or Bobra, you the person can equally stand as the greatest of all time, whether from the generation and now say the entire nation. The person can still represent.
So now, in 90 says okay, Daddy Lumba is the greatest of his generation. In Ghana music, why the man is our title, the greatest of all time?
And I make us say factors ne doso.
Dabi. Factors no. Lumba the more years na munti me fa mobi.
No, this way.
Boss me bound.
Ebia
obi. The more you Lumba free bracket ni ma. Some factors na mudi Lumba free. Mo fa another factor fa mobi na mo fa money.
You bet me dia and I make a bet
me dia ma wan me pedin bi.
Oh, sisi ade e binti mi modi.
Ene obi ani ho.
If you farmer.
Ene Lumba na greatest of. I only want someone challenge me with a name.
Name. Oh, okay.
Oh, and wo hwe the way argument the way of free banner. Obese o cho say obi ani ho sa.
And should that be?
It can be.
Yeah. No. Chamo. No. Yet me ka say kromuha. Ye ka obi a ebetimi aka so. This one original greatest of all time. We see it can be. No.
It can be. Even among champions there is a champion.
Yes.
But
my argument. So Lumba. Lumba enye ene musician.
Yeah.
Lumba enye musician. I was born in 1980. Anya Shekramadi 45 years on earth. Medin 45 years. Of course. Ebra ye wo me besi ne. Lumba has been relevant
through every generation.
Enti osibisa abobo mudin no. Sa time na ya wo me na Lumba relevant. No mo so omo ye active.
Yes.
And then me share omo relevance. Now they compare Lumba.
Lumba's
relevance. Is it the same?
It is not the same.
It's not there na mo face.
But there's a factor. No, it's not the same. But there's a factor. O de no be shema. Lumba so ebe fall short. Because Osibisa omu wuntem.
No,
but let me even the life of Osibisa wasn't celebrated as Lumba was celebrated.
There are some people who are no more.
Yes.
But their songs are still relevant and their brands. And they say you bought Michael Jackson now, never turn change because you bought Lucky Dube in reggae. Never turn change because
but there are people that Lucky Dube or the same level. Not so munguya. Relevant more than Lucky Dube.
But is it today in the world of reggae? Lucky Dube has been dead since so. But why?
Afro Blonde.
Oh, but the impact and Lucky Dube now we know.
It's debatable.
If the repertoire. Afro Blonde. Chamo, ni relevant in today's music. You can't reggae. Though Lucky Dube is dead, you can't Lucky Dube near Afro Blonde. I swear.
Afro Blonde.
Oh.
Are you talking about the ones that are peculiar to his generation?
No, you are talking about you can't reggae music. You have more reggae music.
But modern day we have people.
No, and yet forget modern day. You have more reggae songs. Obebo Afro Blonde dey actually Lucky Dube.
And I make say a bit debatable. Remember na debatable ne say Afro Blonde so I'm making impact. Even now he is still making an impact. Even now shows be na a reggae shows me free Afro Blonde.
I know, but
and you know you have an advantage.
So Lumba. And that my entire radio. Lumba song played more than any other musician.
Yeah.
Yebenya the current abo. Yebenya the old abo.
Yeah.
Yebo that the one Lumba nyimbi be feature.
Yeah.
Yebo middle Lumba yebo recent Lumba nyimbi feature.
The advantage that Lumba one you say and I make I say oh no etna se chair no. He has done more than the enka any Osibi. Me fan say at the point no only Osibi say
I disagree.
No, but we say Osibi so internationally is more recognized than Lumba.
And then interesting, but we are talking Ghana. No, we are talking
factor.
Patron. Common idea. Let's say greatest of all time is in Ghana. Sometimes, Ghana factor first. Ghana factor first. It's Ghana recognition. And Ghana recognition, Lumba and Osibisa Okay,
Ode
Cliff, take over. Let me do this announcement. And come away there, you per se in your opinion. Greatest musician in Ghana of all time. Why in your family? A man for my family Lumba. Omo din so a edima. Me person be mo din ba ko me no bi. No man say oh yeah it's true because of weight.
Why you jano?
And you feel you to me do that.
Why you jano?
Mo din I don't say mo din say oh okay me show we ya okay. But until some din there for now.
Lumba.
Me the better Lumba. Bra enko.
Boss, omo akasa ye pa.
Yeah.
Both Omunya akasa including Roland. Omunya.
Chemo on kasa yet.
But I was say for you to get greatest of all time, very difficult.
Okay.
But it's quite a bit easier to get greatest of a generation. Well, the first time I saw this, the only group that came in mind was Osibisa as Roland.
But mpacho my fa be count. So on say generation asama I can. Obi a transcending generations upon generations. Okay, whatever.
The only person or the only group about was Osibisa. But then again, I started considering works. Yes, internationally, Osibisa is well recognized. Even at the national level, welcome address and things. So Osibisa is well recognized. But then also, so all share legends or legendaries, you have to transcend a generation. And I can tell you, Lumba has transcended about 3 or more generations.
Hey.
I grew up seeing my late father jamming to Lumba. I grew up jamming to Lumba. My own time, but my brother gave birth early. I see my brother's son, who is in SHS now, also jamming to Lumba. So 3 generations, which I can testify of now. Lumba transcended all these generations.
Charlie.
So it makes it a bit easier when you want to put that crown on him. After all, Kiki Jan died not long ago, some 9-10 years ago. It wasn't even relevant in society. Not because of his lifestyle.
In the music space, not society.
Yeah, in the music space, it wasn't even relevant. People were not even acknowledging him. But even in Lumba's death, share the amount for you. Kiki Jan, people were not doing much. It was part of Osibisa, but
they were group. So you will not get individual out like that.
But
he was the last of the group.
He wasn't the last of the group.
No, record of free because if they were stronger enough and come impact the back.
Thank you.
If they were stronger enough, come impact the back.
You see, the Kikijan wasn't the last to die in the group.
To me, I was the last to die.
No, that's what Teddy said. Is still alive. I think.
Okay.
And then we have the other guy, the drummer. He was called something Solomon So or something like that. He was a drummer. And then for him, I think about 2 years ago that I heard that he has died. Yeah. So
even me,
died.
I'm a great supporter of Osibisa. Still, I mean, Nimpo or member bill.
Yeah, because the group.
But Lumba passes out no. Obia in Makulaki to apply to Lumba.
The impact is
even in death.
Of course. Yeah.
He's bigger than some artists who are even
in death
today.
Thank you. So, it's difficult to give.
Yeah, Teddy died this year.
Thank you.
He was the last. He is the last.
And then they had Ni Amafio. Yeah. He died.
How many people even knew say he was part of Osibisa?
Who Teddy was saying?
Yes. How many people of
our generation?
No.
Yes.
How many people even knew?
Charlie. We can't go argument anymore. You Osibisa. Me say mo pepe di bi mo. Edi na about some board mo di no.
They are the best group to be compared, though. But Lumba befa. So Nechino Obian Shedan transcended generations.
Okay.
Because me only 3 generations. I saw my father. I saw myself. I saw my brother's children.
Enti yemfa Lumba.
Apente amampeya
meba meka bibi o dey meba enti no yegusu yes I debate we me dey me say me person me force say Lumba. I don't want to force it, but mo say nye Lumba e hwan mo dey onipa ko ba na fe my taking position. But Samunya phobia di my idea.
They are chucking Lumba.
Since I started ye bedroom knee. Hip life by na Lumba ho.
Yeah, of course.
And a hip life.
Only hip life for crying.
And a hip life way.
Yeah.
But Lumba ni dingu su jinam.
Oh,
Pumpy.
Lumba.
But let me see the relation be so.
Ozay.
It may end somewhere.
Oh, why not?
As it is now.
Oh,
yeah.
No, it's war. But you see, the impact is also one that you can never overlook.
Yeah, of course. I mean,
the same move different from that. But Chama will take over. They take over fully.
Lumba someday, you know, can be say, oh yeah, one of the few musicians are. In fact, Ninyum cry they two cars. Car no one you. And so Ninyum near or car be a friend of Benwa.
Okay.
And you know, Lumba impact when you're there. Meaning say any part that's an Ibia would see no. Now open them. Ebe kase Lumba any impact bia in our music scene, and I say impact bia in our current generation. No, nobody will say that. Okay. But I agreed with the man to some extent. Me agreement agreement na me ne one for the fact say at any point in time no generation bia no ye won kofu bia ye hu say omo yi omo in whatever industry that they find themselves, whether movies, football, music or whatever. Like you ye won kofu bia omo yi omo o ye dey omo na di kan as they say bia in football ebinum beka Messi ne Cristiano Ronaldo no omo ye no.
Yeah.
But enkofu bi nso be tro say time na Pele Maradona or hono, it was a different thing. And then drew hona a honor ma argument in be din kakra if you wanted to transcend to other generation.
Okay.
Lumba there no, it makes sense. Say obetimi aka say wa transcend it like me so if you say a wo me mani fi ya me din no mati no. Me nti say Lumba akofom da. There be an influence
there be that.
And this will be say or no influence na transcended generation. I mean, but the man is difficult to give him the greatest of all time now. Arguable no, is the fact that there are others are almost so bibia for them. At this point they are dead, and I said they are not dead, but almost active music beam. I don't know. Almost some match say the Lumba there, and a good example I can give. Amachi Dede. Amachi Dede so even now. Oba yebeti.
Fact.
Amachi Dede no many years ago no. Now still was hits no. And now still he has hits. But on only there no onye active music bi. Ne nnwom na ekọ. Ya na ne nnwom dada na no asan akoto. Enti no e mane difficult kakra say wo de ono nso kra be san be compare Lumba when Lumba active na Amachi Dede nye active. Lumba is still reigning.
Okay.
In the Abema, what
Lumba before his death, I'm not sure that active sound. Let's get it.
Release just less than a year.
But you can't active and just releasing.
No, but Lumba has performed in the last.
No, but Amachi Dede is performing than Amachi Dede.
But not Lumba release.
Someone performance record, Amachi Dede is very active.
Yes, no, me the release and performing at the same time. And Eka. Lumba not or release and on sign performance. Amachi Dede performance, but or releasing new song for I don't know how many years, but maybe I can say about 10 years.
Okay.
So Amachi Dede releasing new song about 10 years. Or about 20 years. But Ninyum still is in the system.
Okay.
Man for the jamming.
Okay.
And you know, a honor argument need difficult kaka because say a basa we pay. Then you have people omo pe Amachi Dede asem you know ombeka say Amachi Dede is the greatest of all time. And you die hard Lumba fan na Sanka Lumba nyum ye ba kokra nko ombeka still Lumba na greatest of all time. And the man is difficult but I don't think say o person ye lister obey nephew.
Okay.
That's where my issue is. Say ye lister I will never take Lumba out. But okay say mean for no kwan na without mentioning other names are difficult for me to go that direction. And then the mammy can adwene kakra say ye cast any generation now no argument. But ye you know every only in the generation no It's the greatest of all
But
time.
what is Lumba's generation? Which one is Lumba's generation?
The generation, no, I think said the most active part, no,
About their
and
lives.
2000. From the Yiba basic
When
2000.
you go on, when you go on TikTok today, the number of people singing Lumba songs,
Yeah.
they are more than your favorite artist are Ohrifi this year.
Yeah, of course. Anything is true.
It is that generation now.
No,
It means that even in this generation, he is
has
still
impact.
relevant.
Yes,
It's still relevant.
he
And it is true.
the same way I would say Amachi the day is still relevant.
But how many
But-
people are singing his songs?
Amachi
compared to-
Dede.
Yes.
Say Amachi the day kase oye show a nipa bekono. Some current musicians ebeye the same show omunya sa number.
Fact.
Aha.
Fact. But you see, how much did this now can you compare it to Lumba? What Lumba will get? No.
No. Aha. I want to say they know.
Ose ahinche na mo fama no na munya se mo twa mo.
Say later me the never come but okay me single out. I'm not so sure about that one. But if it is a list, I'll add.
Okay.
There that I'm not sure to single him out.
Jamo, when you better maker. Sa greatest of all time come. Se me Lumba. Na me yi avant se Kojo Ntwimu amachi de debo na sefo a. Onipa metim di ne di aka ho enne. Shatawale.
Of course.
But unim de ntia me person de no me di shatta di beba san koma mu sesi ya no. Because shatta kra na bi all start to nyom na Lumba.
Na
Lumba ho. It was shatta started to nyom shatta Lumba egusu wo ho.
And even in
and
this
never Lumba Lumba gusu wo ho. So who is the greatest of all time?
why any argument?
No, like Yapo.
Oh, Henry.
No, the Lumba music career, you know. No, we shouldn't joke with it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Me person make us say in his generation because me I don't know which is Lumba generation.
Of course.
It
goes beyond because
because in his generation, which is Lumba generation.
because after his inception, every generation that has come after that generation knows Lumba.
One of Sarkodie's biggest achievements in his life. And yet doing a song with Bob Marley. Doing a song with that Lumba.
Of course.
One of his greatest achievements. They be Okankwa one.
Of course.
That is why Lumba, anytime Lumba Dibe, Lumba Dibe, Sarkodie appears. And if Sarkodie in his generation, or the greatest of all, or greatest in his generation as a rapper, not still at that time, Lumba Jina so na or no, ne wish your best Lumba movie. Charles argument to me,
the guy deserves it.
I just say, yeah, and now we're free me. No bit says Shatawale wakwa because I'm person me the story need to shatter there.
Yes.
The time I shatter started Mokoho 20 years ago.
Shatter got 2 generations.
And then wakwa and then my uncle is street near to shatter in this year. Minamino sing.
You still
Basic 4 child. Basic 4 child.
Sing it.
Basic 4. So me school basic 4.
So
Amo to shatter Minamino sing said
So now
and then
Shatta is also going into the. It will now go. Would have to go into the 4th
generation.
Not third. Third in the movie. Make a 4th, 5th, or 6th.
Lumba di 60 years.
I translate the about 4.
Lumba di 60 years. And he said, "Me ya woman 1980 na Lumba started music the da."
The 4 generations.
Na they say what tramu
Or starting in the late I think
no what 5 generations.
or starting in the middle.
No, me or 4, me or me 4 that make fit. Me be traffic.
10 years.
No starting before I hear
One
me.
generation. Into a core over
Yes.
4 generations.
Yes.
America said that and yet 3 generations. He has to go 5, 6, 7 in order.
It's here. Say more campaign there because Oma. You see, and what we are saying, more being Casabia, we are underrating, undermining the efforts of Osibisa and Asmono. But how they have transcended from one generation to the
and the relevance.
And the relevance. Exactly what we are talking. And then, music lovers be say mu is okay edi edi ko matida on betimi ato sibisa anwuma he your best bet osa and thanks to DTMA
so welcome home
thanks to DTMA no mass anwum ni na popular and you know free hodia me the greatest of all time they me say Senye Lumba Panda I don't know who else Lumba Charlie the impact no ehu ya wo me no Lumba o
of course
ya wo me no Lumba enne ni ma be wo Lumba si Lumba
me na the pictures that ludu so
no Lumba's impact Charlie don't joke with Lumba's impact Kojo Ashakan really extra the generation
one the okay see the point but so far in Ghana
no it doesn't have any point
no
see sometimes a man for ebeka and sembia na amo face amo babema obi hype but fact be a fact and you see when he is also a musician himself you understand when he's also a musician himself and he thinks he knows some things but why did na the beba me I don't make sure me say why did na mo the beba I said, wanna beba, yes, true. Kojo Chimeba,
yes, true.
Match the day, beba. Osibisa, beba. Right. Don't know the Lumba to switch them. Well, oh, yes, true.